There are many classifications of animals, but one creature which fits in all the three classifications, be it terrestrial, be it arboreal, be it marine or aquatic, that is snake. Here we have two kinds of snake just rescued from the same area. In this box you can see it is a Russell's viper, juvenile. You cannot say juvenile, it's a baby Russell's viper. And in the other box we can see a green pit viper, aka bamboo pit viper. Coexistence is a theory which is talked about a lot among the people, wherein people ask when we release certain snakes or two different species of snake in same area, they ask, why do you release snakes in the same area? This is the answer to those questions, that snakes or any other animal, they actually coexist in the same area or in the same vicinity, you can say, because this is what the nature does. If they do not coexist with each other, the balance of the nature will shatter within seconds, and it will be the worst part, wherein you will be seeing a lot of destruction. First of all, we are about to release this terrestrial Russell's viper. Vipers are the most feared snakes, or you can say these are the nightmares for anyone, be it a common man or a snake rescuer or anyone. Among these, the most feared one is this Russell's viper. In the southern eastern Asia, or you can say the whole Asia, this snake is feared a lot. It can be thought of same as the black mamba of Africa, as people fear a lot for black mamba. They do have the same kind of fear for Russell's viper. While rescuing, these snakes can be very unpredictable, and since you can see these are this particular species is very small, this particular specimen is very small, it may be thought as the baby python by many people, but it is not viper. Why do people think Russell's viper as a python? Because of you can see the structure of body and the shape of head. It's just a little bit longer head, and the structure of body or the girth of the body is little more higher proportion than comparing to the length of the body. But the identification for a Russell's viper is very easy by looking at the triangular heads and the chain pattern of oval shaped pattern you can see all over its body, on the lateral side, on the top side, and it runs from the head side to the tail, if you can see. So we are about to release this baby Russell's viper in this terrestrial area, and it will gradually, or you can say very fastly, it will move, and they are very swift. You can see it's how beautifully these Russell's viper camouflages in its surrounding. It's just licking out its tongue to have a sense of the environment, which is by capturing the molecules in the air and then throwing it to its Jacobson organ. Moving around its environment, it senses all the area around it, and they are very actually capable of doing that with very high effectiveness. Through their tongue, they sense all the molecules that are floating, which are left by some mammals or maybe some other animals, and they just catch these molecules and take them to their Jacobson organ, which exactly tells them that what actually they are encountering with. It tells them the size of the you can say if it is a predator or their food or whatever it may be. Snakes are among the most modified creatures you can see, though they don't have any sort of limbs, but yes, they are amongst the most modified species. Now we are coming on to the next one. Now talking about this species of snake, they are true arboreal snakes, and you can see how beautifully it is just sticking, and it is now having a defensive posture, since it is looking at us as a threat. So it actually wants to counter us, but since we know that we are not going to attack it, but it is actually countering us by this classic defensive posture of a true viper. Now, talking about the venom of these two snakes, the one which we have seen earlier, Russell's viper is actually having a dominant hematoxic venom, though there are a number of cases reported where some patients have shown certain amount of neurotoxicity, but that is somewhere in the southern part of Sri Lanka. But if you talk about the pit vipers, especially this bamboo pit viper, it has hematoxic venom and certain amount of neurotoxicity, though neurotoxins are not dominating, but hemotoxins are very predominant, and they show certain kind of symptoms which may not lead to death, may not be fatal, but the amputation rate of the victims are very high. Patients bitten by pit vipers, especially bamboo pit vipers, are often have led to necrosis and many other kind of diseases like necrosis and also gangrene, wherein the tissues damage very brutally and they have to get their limb amputated, or the part where the snake has bitten gets amputated. So the only thing what you can do as a local eyed or as a person in person, what you can do is just to avoid any sort of contact with snakes. If you are not aware of them, you should not poke them, because now you can see just we are allowing it. It was in its defensive posture, but since we did not poke it with any sort of thing or stake or leaf, it start escaping by itself. So this is what their nature is. If you are not poking them, not torturing them, not tormenting them, they will move out of your area by their own. They actually come in our area for three of the most popular thing. One is food, other is regulating their body temperature, and also for search of shelter. Since we are cutting down trees, chopping down trees every now and then for human population survival and for their accommodation. But if you will see, these animals coexisted. These animals have coexisted with humans for hundreds of years, thousands of years. So it is our duty to respect these creatures, and since they are venomous, not each and every snake is venomous, but whatever snake is venomous, if you have a little bit of knowledge of them, it will be that is a good posture, that is a yawning posture. So what we were talking about, that if you are having a little knowledge, not of snakes or about these creatures, but just to how to maintain the coexistence, you allow them to live on their own, you just let them move of their own, do not poke them, do not torture them, then they will be moving around, just they will have their food, the rodents. And if you don't want to have snakes around you, you have to maintain the cleanliness of your vicinity. That is, you should not litter things around, you should not make rodents to move around your houses. That is the only thing you can do to by maintaining cleanliness. You can just have them outside of your house. That is the best thing you can do. Maintaining cleanliness is the best way to repel any reptile, especially snakes. So hope friends you have understood our term, and these two snakes, they are very beautiful. These two snakes were actually babies, and what you can see, they actually are very beautiful. On that note, I would like to end this video. For further information, you can subscribe to our channel Team AZ and Prakriti or Hum. That's all for today's video. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.